Hey everyone, this is Eddie Seymour from Seymour Properties. This video is going to be discussing buying a home, whether it be a condo, a townhouse, or a single family home. It at times can be very difficult and very stressful, but if you have the right way and you have the right agent, this could be a lot of fun. All right, let's start off. The first thing you want to do is you want to get a pre-approval. Now, what do I mean? Well, you go to a lender. It doesn't matter what lender. You go to a lender, you fill out their application, and they're going to look over your credit, and they're going to give you a pre-approval letter. You need that letter before you can go out and start looking. Because, first of all, you want to know how much you qualify for. And I have a video out on my channel, Seymour Properties, that discusses qualifying for a mortgage. Go over that video. I think it's going to be very helpful to you. All right, so you got your pre-approval, and now don't hire an agent. Listen to me carefully. You want to do some research on your own, whether it's by yourself or with your spouse or your partner, whatever. Do a lot of research. Go on sites, the major real estate sites, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com is one of the most popular. Look at the areas that you want to live in. Now, some of you may have a family and the whole thing is going to be dictated by the school systems. So look up, research the best schools. Is that an area where you want to live? I mean, most of my buyer clients that I have families, the school system is one of the most important things about where they want to live. They want to be in the proper school system. And I understand that and I applaud that. So research the best schools, research the area. Do you want to be close to work? When you have found a couple of neighborhoods and you saw a couple of homes, go tour the neighborhood. How close are you to stores? How close are you to restaurants? It's very important that you research this on your own before you even hire an agent. Okay, and let me discuss something here. A lot of new millennials are not hiring an agent. They're trying to go out there and do it on their own. They think they are smart enough and they think they have enough ability and knowledge to strike a deal with the listing agent. And I want to tell you something, that's the worst thing you can do. Yes, if you do, you could probably get the commission that was designated for the buyer's agent, and you could use that to pay either down the price of the house or pay some of your closing costs. But let me tell you, in my 18 years of business in Northern Virginia area, I have shown buyers that I can get a better discount, I can get more savings from them than they could on their own. Plus, when you write a contract, there's a lot of things you have to understand. You must have an agent, okay? So, first thing you do, you wanna interview an agent. First thing, are you compatible? You and this agent are going to do a lot of home searching, a lot of meetings. You want to be compatible. Secondly, is this agent experienced? Because again, there are a lot of nuances in that contract. There's a lot of things. You want to make sure that you have an agent who is well qualified and is going to help you to do the right way, to get everything that you want. Once you got an agent, and let me tell you, here's what if you hired me as an agent, the more you know. We used to have a company that was in the Northern Virginia area, a clothing company, and they had a motto: an educated consumer is my best customer. And I believe in that. An educated buyer is my best client, okay? Because they know where they want to go, they know where they want to live, they know the price they want. And I'll tell you, if I found my buyers, these buyers have researched a lot and they have cut my time down that I have to do the work, I would give them part of my commission. Sure, why not? They've done a lot of work on their own and they should be rewarded for it. They're making my life easier. okay? So research, find an agent, and if you think that, ask this agent, hey, this is what I want, this is where I want to live, this is the type of house I want, boom. The agent should say, hey, you're so good that I'm going to give you part of my commission. You've made my job easier, okay? All right, you've agreed, you found a good agent. Now, you've picked out some homes, and you're going to go tour. In my 18 years of business, if you see more than 6 to 8 homes a day, you get confused. You go home that night and everything's a big blob because you'll forget. You'll say, okay, or ask the agent to give you the listing and write notes on them. Because when you see 6 to 8, you want to be able to sit down with your partner, with your spouse, and go over everything. And if you have the pictures, it's much easier, okay? All right. You've gone through the process and you finally found a home. And you ask your agent to make an offer. Make sure your agent brings you comps, brings you all the information you can so you can come up with a good price to offer. Now, let me make sure you understand something. If you like this house, don't lowball the sellers because you're trying to be cute. Let's say the house is listed at $500 and you're going to come in at $440. You're going to really insult the seller. The seller wants market value too, all right? I always tell my buyer, don't go below 5% less of the listing price. In other words, if the guy wants $500, I come in at $475. That's $25,000, that's 5%. This doesn't insult them. It perks their interest saying, hey, I have a potential buyer here. Let's negotiate. Now, if they don't budge and you really want that house, then you'll do something. But get a good agent, an agent who's aggressive, okay? Talk to the agent. You guys are a team. You're a team. You work with your agent all the time, all right? And then you come out and hopefully you negotiate not only the price, but you have to talk about a home inspection. You have to make sure that they have this contingency in there. The more contingencies, the easier you can get out of a contract if you feel the sellers are being not friendly, okay, in that sense. So make sure you have a contingency on your financing, whether it be conventional, VA, or FHA. Make sure you have a home inspection. I cannot tell you, not only are you going to find out what's wrong with that house, but if you really do love that house, that home inspector will show you everything. You will know this new house that you're going to move into, okay? Make sure that if the house is built before 1978, that there's a lead-based paint disclosure. Make sure that you have make sure your butt is covered, okay? It's important. Make sure your agent's doing that job. All right, so let's say you got a ratified contract. What's a ratified contract? A ratified contract is when you and the seller have agreed to all the terms, you've initialed everything, and you have signed everything. Now you have a ratified contract. That means that both sides have to execute, okay, their jobs. Now, the home inspection should be done within 10 days. Within 10 days of the ratified contract. That way, if something's wrong with the house, you're not wasting your time because you want to get out and look for some more homes. So you do the home inspection, and again, walk with the home inspector as much as possible. Sometimes they're on the roof, you don't want to go on the roof, but then there's times where he's underneath something, you don't want to be part of that. But you want to know where your cutoff valves are for water. You want to know how the air conditioning and the heating works. You want to know a lot of other things about the house. That's what you hire a home inspector for. Not only to find the problems, but you want to learn about the house. Now, if the home inspection goes well, you're going to make a contingency to the seller saying, please fix these problems that you have in your house. If the seller decides not to, or if the seller is going to get tough on that, you can walk. You can say, well, if you're not going to fix these items, I'm out of here. And if I was your agent, I would say, let's get out. But usually, if you have a good agent, they'll get that done. Okay. Remember, you want an aggressive agent. Okay. like me. Now you got the home inspection done. The seller has agreed to fix everything. The next thing you want to make sure you ask your agent to make sure that the seller's agent is getting you the home owners association docs, HOA docs, or if you're buying a condo, the condo docs. Why? Well, you want to look and see what, I know it's tough reading. It's going to be on an email that has hundreds of pages. But if there's something in there that you don't like, you need to know what the homeowner association, what their bylaws are. It's very important. I can't tell you. So make sure you get that. Once you do get that from the seller's agent, you have 3 days to go over it. If you don't like what's in there, you can get out of the contract with no penalty. But after 3 days, that way to get out of the contract is out, okay? Let me go over the 5 ways you can get out of a contract. I think you should know this. Most agents don't want to tell you this because they don't want you getting out of the contract. They want your commission. I will want you to know all the ways out. It's important. Okay, first way. You ratify a contract, you actually have 3 days. In the state of Virginia, you're allowed 3 days, right of rescission, where you can get out of the contract because you change your mind with no penalty. 2, you do the home inspection. The home inspection has a lot of problems. You want out, you can get out. No penalty. You do the home inspection. There's a number of things that need to be done. You decide, hey, I like the house enough. I want the seller to do this. Seller says no. You can get out of the contract. You don't have to, but you can. 4, the HOA docs. I just explained that. And 5 is financing. You can always come back and say, I can't get approved. Now, you can't say it. The loan officer has to give them a letter saying that they are not approved. The loan officer is not going to do anything to harm his or her reputation, so they probably won't do it unless there's a real problem. Okay? But the other way is the appraisal. Your lender is going to get an appraisal done. If you're doing a FHA or VA loan, the government also will do an appraisal. And these appraisals will come in. If the appraisal, especially from the lender, is not the price you guys agreed upon, I mean, it's lower. If it's more, you're happy. But if it's lower than what the price you agreed upon, you have the right as buyers to say, hey, seller, I just did my appraisal. It's $10,000 less than what we agreed upon. I want you to drop it $10,000. If the seller says no, you have the right to walk. But let me tell you, you'll have to come up with $10,000 cash because the lender is only going to give you the value of $590. Let's say it's a $600,000 house and it only came in at $590. Somebody has to pay that $10,000 and it's you. Now, I've seen people tell the seller, drop it, and the seller 90% of the time will drop it. They want to sell the home. Now, sometimes the seller says, hey, let's negotiate. Let's split it in half. I don't recommend that. You want market value. Why are you giving the seller $5,000 more? No, market value is $590. I want $590. If the seller says no, you walk. You can walk, you don't have to, but you have to make up that $10,000. Just let you know that, okay? All right, so let's say everything was fine, everything was great, and now you've gone through and you're right for closing. Make sure that you do the walkthrough. Make sure you and your agent go. I prefer the same day, or I prefer maybe the night before because something can go wrong. So make sure you do the walkthrough. Make sure your agent goes through everything. You're going to test every toilet. You're going to make sure every spigot has hot water. You're going to make sure everything is in proper order. And you're going to make sure that all that homeowners items that were supposed to be done are done. They have to provide you with invoices and receipts. Don't let the seller. Now, if a plug is bad, the seller can change it. If there's something that's real simple, the seller may do it on their own. But major stuff, air conditioning repair, HVAC repair, new windows, this bum, you want a receipt or an invoice because if something goes wrong, you call that company up. All right, so make sure you do that walkthrough. Make sure you get your invoices on all the home inspection items were done. All right, then you go to closing. It's a happy time. You're going to be a lot of fun, and you'll be just make sure you have everything in order. Okay, if you have any questions, my contact information is below. Happy house hunting. Hopefully one day I can help you. Bye.